Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Fabrizio Romano here as always to keep you posted on the transfer market. Today guys, as usual, several stories, many news. Remember to stay here tuned together every single day. Many updates, many videos, many stories. And so we need to talk about several topics, several news. The first one for this video, it's a very sad news because he had to leave on loan. He was about to leave Barcelona, go on loan, develop, get more minutes, 20 years old. But an injury in training is going to stop rumours Bouddi. The Swedish winger is no longer leaving Barcelona, is no longer going for this transfer window because he tore his ACL. And so a long injury for rumours Bouddi will be out until 2027. He's expected to be out around 6-7 months, waiting for the recovery process, but the news is confirmed. Unfortunately, sad news for Barcelona, and all the best wishes to a young talent like Rooney who will be out for months with this injury, so no transfer for him. More news, Ronald Araujo signed his contract at Liverpool. The two clubs also signed, so official announcement is coming for this official news. Exclusive breaking news in the morning, a swap deal completed between Crystal Palace and Everton. McNeil to Crystal Palace, Brennan Johnson to Everton. Everything done, no money involved. It's a straight swap between the two clubs, and so Medical Today and a double deal completed. A deal that is not going to happen is the one for Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, because the Danish midfielder from Olympique Marseille was the top target for Newcastle to replace Bruno Guimaraes. Newcastle were ready to pay what Olympique Marseille wanted in terms of transfer fee for Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, so club to club there were no problems. Newcastle were very confident, but then the player decides to reject the proposal. Højbjerg is assessing his options, but there is also a strong chance that he decides to stay at Olympique Marseille. So it doesn't necessarily mean that he's saying no to Newcastle just because he doesn't want Newcastle. There is a chance he wants to stay at Olympique Marseille. Then it depends on the proposals in the next days, but this is the situation at the moment, not going to Newcastle. Another important story of the day, guys, is the first official bid sent by Paris Saint-Germain to Barcelona. It's a really similar situation to Rodri. So all parties, also in this case, expect the deal to happen. Barcelona, Ferran Torres, Paris Saint-Germain. Why? Because Ferran has an agreement with PSG and because the deal is well underway. Absolutely. Ferran has an agreement with Paris Saint-Germain on the contract. Meanwhile, Paris Saint-Germain informed Barcelona about this agreement. Now the first bid has been sent. Barcelona and PSG are talking. Also in this case, the relationship is understood to be good, so they're trying to find the best solution. PSG are offering around 50 million euros. The conversation is ongoing. The first bid was reaching 50 million euros with the dons included. Barcelona want around 50 million euros guaranteed, but it's considered a matter of details before Ferran Torres can join Paris Saint-Germain. So PSG are closing in on this deal for Ferran. They have the agreement with Ferran, and Ferran really wants to go to PSG. So this is why Barcelona are not gonna force him to stay and are working on the final fee for Ferran Torres to find again Luis Enrique, who strongly wanted to have Ferran Torres at Paris Saint-Germain. And then there is the Rodri situation, absolutely ongoing, absolutely underway. Again today, Manchester City, Barcelona for Rodri. The deal is at the final stages. The agreement is getting closer. The two clubs are in direct contact. I told you absolutely everything in my videos. This is a very direct conversation between two Portuguese sporting directors. Ferran Soriano, who is at Man City, knows Barcelona so well, so the connections are very good here. They're trying to reach the final agreement on the number, and it's not going to be 50 million euros or 55, and I think has to be for sure also more than 60 in terms of package. So fixed fee and the dons. This is what Barcelona and Manchester City are discussing, but the deal is absolutely underway also for Rodri. Manchester City are also closing in on the deal for Ayoub Boaddi. This is not going to be the only signing for Man City in midfield. They want to do more. Boaddi indicated, according to my information, to Manchester City that he hopes to go to Man City now. The plan at the beginning of the negotiation during the World Cup, when Boaddi was doing great for Morocco, was for Boaddi to join Manchester City in summer 2027. So stay at Lille one more season and then join Manchester City. Now the player is pushing to go to Manchester City immediately. So the agreement on the contract is done, the agreement on the salary is done. Boaddi said yes to Manchester City project, now working to try complete everything between the two clubs, Manchester City and Lille. They are already in advanced talks. Last week, Man City presented an improved bid for Boaddi, and now the conversation is absolutely underway. So, what to say also, Julián Alvarez, today Atletico Madrid sharing the first official image of Julián Álvarez in gym after returning from holidays after the World Cup final with Argentina. So Julián is back in Madrid. For sure, he will talk to Atletico Madrid in terms of management, in terms of coach, Diego Simeone in the next days about his situation. We wait to see how this conversation will go, but for sure, at the moment, Atletico Madrid maintain their stance. They don't want to give the player to Barcelona. So in order for this situation to change in the final 3 weeks of the summer transfer window, we still need, a big revolution internally at Atletico. At the moment, this is the stance of Atletico Madrid. Let's wait for this conversation. Let's wait for the next steps. But at the moment, still nothing changed on Atletico side. So that is the part of the story, obviously, to understand. Because Barcelona are also waiting to understand if Atletico Madrid can open their doors or not at the moment. This is the case. And then, guys, I also wanted to bring you to the table something about Liverpool future, because we already discussed about this, and today from Sky News, very well informed on the situation, there was an update also on this one. But Jeff Bezos is part of the consortium that is advancing positively in talks to buy a stake of Liverpool Football Club. 1/3 of the club, according to Sky News, and sources close to the club confirm that the discussions are well underway and that Liverpool owner Fenway Sports Group can really reach an agreement quite soon with this consortium involving also Jeff Bezos. So that will be massive, obviously, for Liverpool to welcome new investors, to have fresh money, and also to get even more power in terms of image for the future of the club. So the feeling around this negotiation is quite positive. Obviously, this is not a transfer news, this is a kind of financial news. So we have to follow that in the next days, and it's way more careful situation compared to a transfer, as you can understand. But that's also a situation to watch, because it could be important to understand the future at Liverpool Football Club. Just quickly, 2 more updates. The first one on Rodrigo Mora. Roma are ahead of Galatasaray for Porto talent in negotiations. So the conversations are well underway between Roma and the agent of the player, Jorge Mendes. Agreement done on the contract, and now Roma are pushing on club side to close the deal with Porto. And then Rafa Leao. AC Milan fixed the final conditions for Rafa Leao exit. There is Galatasaray interested. The player hopes to have something from the Premier League in the final days of the market. So Rafa Leao is still hoping for that solution. Milan want around 55-60 million euros for Rafa Leao. Permanent exit. No chance for a loan. Let's follow the situation in the next hours and days. Guys, on this and much more, I will keep you posted here as every single day on the channel. Remember to like this video, to turn on the notification bell, to subscribe to the channel. Let me know your opinion on absolutely everything, from Julián Álvarez to Ferran, Rodri, and